to the Elevated Space Podcast. I'm your host, DeShawn Miller. You're about to dive into another enthralling and, may I say, fascinating conversation about the world, past, current, future issues seen through an Afrocentric lens. Before we get started, though, I want to make sure you know exactly where you can find all the awesome content that we create. The audio version of this show drops every week. Don't hold me to it. Got a lot of stuff going on, but should drop every week on all major podcast platforms. I'm talking Apple, Google, Spotify, all of those, of course. But when you do that, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Review us too. Give us 5 stars. You know what I mean? No, but for real, give us 5 stars. That helps us share all this beautiful content. Give all this goodness out to the world. So make sure you're doing all those things. Make sure you're doing all of those things for me, please. Also, um, another note that we have, very, very important. We got a voicemail number now. Cool. Yeah, we'll give ourselves a round of applause. So we got a voicemail number now. Number is 747-777-3146. Again, one more time, 747-777-3146. Please take a note of that. Write that down. Call me at that number. Leave a message. Tell me your guy problems, because I'm a guy. I know how guys think. I can help you out. Tell me about your girl. Had plenty of those. They could be a pain. Tell me about it. I get you. I hook you up. Word. So yeah, just give me a call. Don't matter, boss is giving you a pain. Hey, I got that too. So yeah, just ring me up again, 747-777-3146. Yeah, catch me on YouTube, Instagram, and all of those, all those social platforms at the Elevated Space. All right. So without further to do, let's start the show. We gonna start the shit off with shit I can't stand. You know what I mean? That's where we gonna start today. I can't stand. I can't stand. I can't stand these full beard having motherfuckers, man. These Wolfgang puck ass niggas. I can't stand that shit. Right? So I'm like, hey, yo, I'm going through like no shave November, right? I'm trying to, get my shit in a little bit. But my fucking facial hair grow like hair on cat balls. It just don't grow in. It don't grow in full. It don't grow in lush. You know what I mean? And all puffy. It's like, like I'm homeless. I'm looking like Shaggy from what was that shit called with Scooby Doo? It just don't come in right. It's fucking annoying, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and push through. You know what I mean? It seems like it gets just a little better every year, but this one's still a fucking struggle, yo. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. This is the bane of my existence. But yeah, these dudes be walking around, these full ass beards, be all covering up all they facial misfunctions and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got camouflage with that shit, but it's cool. So yeah, that should be pissing me off looking at them with beard envy. Like, you bastard. I want some of that. Like, you got just too much. I got a homeboy, man, 3 days. He like Wolfman walking out the house. I'm like, this is some bullshit. You know what I mean? Hey, I've been working. I stopped shaving since the last pod, so about 2 weeks. And look at this. Nothing, I tell you. Nothing. I look crazy. I look just the same as I did 2 weeks ago. So that's a pain in the ass, man. But that's what's up. That's what's up. You know what else I can't stand though? Real talk. I cannot stand stupid motherfuckers that pop out in traffic. You know what I mean? Like, so you going like 90 miles an hour. That's an excessive. But let's just say you're doing a cool 65. No cars down the road. There's a car turning off the side road that's waiting to turn. And there's nobody in front of you, nobody in back of you, humping down the road. They'll hop out in front of you and then go 23 miles an hour. Like, it's like, bro, you could have waited till I passed to get behind me. Now I gotta wait for you and your stupid ass to get your shit together. While I'm sitting here, I got places to be, motherfucker. Like, let's go. That shit be pissing me off, dog. You know what I'm saying? That shit be fucking pissing me off, man. One more thing. One more thing. Shrinkflation. That's a pain. Like, I went to the fucking store the other day, hamburger. This hamburger, I used to go here all the time. Hamburger, patty like this, it's cool, Went there the other day, it's like this. Bun, just a small. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Same price, smaller shit. And I'm like, see, this is some bullshit that we doing. This is some bullshit. And I know beef prices have went up, thanks Trump, and all these tariffs and shit. But dog, man, come on, man. Hey, I'd rather give me the burger that I come for. Like I'll pay the higher price, unfortunately. But I don't be skipping me on this shit when I think I'm gonna get a meal that's about to get me full and I'm going home now. I gotta what else can I eat in 2, 3 hours because I'm hungry? This is carnival food, man. If you don't get this shit the fuck out of your face, that shit be pissing me off. Like, and it's around everything. Like they be, the thing of fries is smaller. Everything is smaller, and sometimes they even have the audacity to give you smaller shit and then charge you more. Like, ain't this, like I ought to come around this counter and snack the shit out you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool though. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool, but it's cool. It's our new normal, man. These motherfuckers is out here they're trying to get you around every corner, man. There is no safe space in these streets. I tell you. Um, can't stand bootlegging ass niggas like Stephen A. Smith and Candace Owens. Can't stand them motherfuckers. Like I just y'all fucking shucking jiving motherfuckers get on my nerves. Like for real. Like they need to go. They're a bane to the black existence, and they're just yeah. No. Both of them need to be X'd out of our community. No longer welcome. We're taking those cards. We're taking those black cards. Please give them up. Let's go. Yeah, they're a problem. They're a problem. You know what I mean? Oh, one more thing. Well, actually, two more things. One more thing I got is that smug ass motherfucker on CNN. I think his name is Scott Jennings or some shit. He gets on my fucking nerves. I don't know why they got him on there. He is just yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem. Again, if I was on that show, me and him would have to talk afterwards, man. I get my little assault charge and then bail out and then go on about my business. You know what I mean? Now lastly, one more thing that I hate that I absolutely fucking loathe cops. Can't stand them motherfuckers. Can't stand them. Like I absolutely loathe them bitches. I truly do. Like I want to spit in their face when I'm in their presence. And depending on what mood I'm in, might even more than that. Like I can't stand them. And this isn't just like, something like, yo, it's from experience, learned experience. So Sandra Massey, right? She was murdered. I hope y'all remember. If not, let's do a little refresher. So Sandra Massey, she was murdered, and her murderer, right, a cop, was just convicted on second degree murder, right? It surprised me this motherfucker's even been convicted. Like usually they let him off, some sort of slap on the wrist, and then they relocate to another district, right? But yeah, or yeah, with pay, you know what I mean, suspended with pay, all that bullshit they be pulling. But he got convicted, and he's facing up to 20 years. 20 years. Keywords is up to. So that means he probably do 5, 7, possibly, but I doubt it. Maybe yeah, give him 7, up for parole in 4, that type of shit. For murdering this woman in cold blood, murdering her in her own home, no less. Like we're used to the cop shootings, you know what I mean? Well, we shouldn't be, but we are used to the cop shootings at this point. This one fucking pissed me off. This one like really, really pissed me off. And it's the reason why is because if you can't even be safe in your own home, in your own house, what the fuck? What the fuck? Especially when I'm the one who called you motherfuckers. I call you and get murdered. I call you for help and end up dead. That's some bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit. So he claims he shot her. Right? This is he claims he shot her because he thought she was about to throw a pot of boiling water on him. Claiming self defense. I'm scared for my life. You know that type of bullshit, bro. Fuck out of here. Sometimes it's just obvious, and even when it ain't, y'all still get off. So this one was special to me. Not special. I don't have another adjective I want to throw in here right now, but I was fucking angry on this one because right. So they come around. They come in the house. She called them thinking that she sees an intruder. Right. So she calls them thinking somebody's around my house. I need you guys to, come take a look, right? A normal person, right? You think I'm gonna call the police? I'm gonna call the police because I think somebody's around my house. They come, search the house. They come in to talk to her, tell her, "Hey, we didn't see nobody. It's all clear. Whatever. Cool." Like and then he's telling her in her own home to take the boiling pot of water off the stove. Oh, motherfucker, I'm cooking. No. And she was just like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Ain't that just like a black? That's why that touched my spirit. It was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And then he said, you better not. And said he would shoot her. She dropped to the ground. He told her to drop the pot. She dropped to the ground. He stepped up, shot her 3 times, once in the face. Execution. It's crazy, B. It's fucking crazy. Right. And even before then, she's like, okay, I'm sorry. Before she ducked behind the counter, she's like, I'm sorry. And he approached her and then shot her 3 times.
Police say Massey called police on July 6 over a suspected prowler in her neighborhood. When deputies arrived, they spoke with her. They asked for her identification. She then goes to move a pot of boiling water from her stove when she's heard saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Sangamon deputy Sean Grayson pulls out his gun as she apologizes and ducks.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
We are pausing the video as Deputy Grayson then fires his gun 3 times. He later indicates he shot her in the head.
We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female.
Last week, authorities...
It's crazy. He said the first time, so they walk in somebody's house and just kill him. What's his Bolton John? I think his name was. I think he was in Chicago, something like that. Don't check me on the city. Pretty sure his name was Bolton John. He was eating ice cream on his couch. She walked right in his house and killed him. Pretty sure she got off. I have to go check that. I'm pretty sure she got off. Like, yeah, she was like, I'm sorry. And he stepped up and killed her in her own home. Like, why do we have to beg for our humanity to be acknowledged? Huh? Why we gotta beg for our humanity to be acknowledged? They can't see our humanity. I don't, or do they want to? They don't see us as humans. He killed her like an animal. He had as much care as he would shoot a deer. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why they don't care when they kneel on our neck and when till we call out for our mama and piss on ourselves and die. That's why they don't care. They don't fucking see us as human. And this motherfucker, he had like 2 DUIs. He was discharged from the army, like for serious misconduct. They don't say what it is, but it's probably the worst shit because they'll be kicking those white boys out of there. And complaints from other people that, you know what I'm saying, he had like a bad police record. We'll just say that. He had a bad police record. And other fucking law enforcement, your own people had complaints against you. But a lot of that was kept out of the trial. You know what I mean? It was excluded from testimony. And see, and that's how they've been protecting them damn motherfuckers, man. Second degree, he should have got first degree murder, capital punishment, death chair. Sit down, nigga. Get down. Sit down. It's over for you, nigga. He should have got a fucking death chair. But yet they'll find a loophole to give him some easy deal. And yet y'all elected to do that want to give unlimited immunity to these motherfuckers. Y'all got him back in office. The dude is like rough him up when you put him in a car. The dude that wants more police out on the streets. Then fuck the police. I mean that shit. Fuck. Like, yeah, my father, I was talking to my father, hey, we need the police. No, the fuck we don't. What do? They don't solve crimes. They don't do shit. Their budget is high. They only come after the crime has been committed. Or they're committing the crime themselves. Or they're committing the crime themselves. But they come after the effect. You know what I'm saying? They're the Avengers. They come afterwards. They don't come before. You know what I'm saying? When they're racing down the street, they're going to find something that happened. It's very rare where they're just happen to be there when crime is being committed. But yet they want to pour millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into police. And fuck them. Like they are the embodiment of white supremacy in this neighborhood. And like in the figures of this like prison industrial complex, like in this country. Like on a smaller scale, it breeds a paranoid, like defeated type of existence. And on a larger scale, I feel like it's like a social, economical conspiracy to like destroy black life. I do. I really do. Like the police are like the neighborhood bully. They're like the neighborhood bully. No matter what neighborhood you're in, you can't escape the bully no matter where you go. You know, I like in like in like the movies and some, you know, they be having a bully and then they move to another town or some shit. You can't escape this bully. He's everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Every corner you turn around, the bully's right there. Gun ready, aimed. Buck up. Buck up, son. With that with that righteous indignation. See if I don't make you a semi-permanent spot on this fucking street. That's how they be. It was like 12 years old when I had the first gun pointed to my head. Mm. Well, like, and I like seriously, like they are like some Gestapo. They are a gang. I don't even know a better way to put it. They're a fucking gang. Like they're the real gang. Bloods and Crips ain't got shit on these motherfuckers. But I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. Remember, The time I really realized there was like two Americas, right? I was pulled over. I was working at a place that will not be named. And I had to work not overnight, but I had to be at work at like 4 in the morning, right? Most days. Sometimes five. But this particular day was 4 in the morning. So I left the house at like 3 o'clock, 3:15 or something to get to work. Now this is a Friday night, Saturday morning, right? So I'm driving down the road. I just stopped at McDonald's and I got me like one of those Egg muffins, whatever the fuck. I'm driving down the road. As I pull out of McDonald's, I pull up to him. He's sitting in the turning lane. I pull up to him at the blinking red light. He stopped there at the lane. He still hasn't moved. I pull up to him. He still hasn't moved. I mean, so I see him coming up. Ooh, cop. I stop, wait, look, pull off. Here he comes. He looks at me, obviously, and then here he comes. Word. And again, at that time, like always, they come with the verbal abuse and all that shit. You know what I mean? Molested. He's in my drawers, fondling my balls and my dick, looking for drugs. Like, and then, yeah, why don't you sit in the back of this car? Calls his, backups, because there's always 3 or 4 police cars around when we're getting pulled over, make it look like they doing something in these streets for a random fuck for fuck random for a purposeful stop. They make it look like, oh, got another nigger here, dangerous, right? He's fearing for his life. Got to call for backup. Got me in the car. They bring this drug dogs all in my car, sniffing around. Isn't that, man? I'm going to work. You can look for whatever you want. Because at this point, I was hustling, man. I was going to work, working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and then coming fuck home. I was trying to get that American dream, chasing that fucking carrot. Stupid me. Stupid me. But anyway, so I was chasing that carrot. Anyway, so I was allowed to continue with my day after being violated and then given another several $100 ticket for the inconvenience, because they got to justify their stop. They can't let you, because then if I go there and I can go complain, because like, yo, you pulled me over, you did all this, like I wasn't even, so they got to give you something to justify their little fucking stop. Say I didn't come to a complete stop. Fuck, I didn't. I saw you sitting right at the light. But it's all right. It's cool. So I go to work. I'm pissed off, right? I get into work and I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, man, And so they're like, hey, what's wrong? You all right? Why you late, first of all? You know what I mean? Because I was late a grip, right? So I was at least late, like at least 40 minutes. They're like, why you late? You all right? And I was like, man, nah. Like, so I shared my experience with them motherfuckers. They was all white people in there. And I shared my experience with them, and I was like, "Yo, this is." And then they started to talk about their experience with police. Right? I mean, I hadn't asked for this. They started to tell me, and um, when they did, like most of them was like describing some alternate universe that I have never experienced or been to. When they were talking about their exchange with officers, right? They're talking about some I couldn't believe it. It was like most of them was like, yo, they just whenever I get pulled over, they just let me off with a verbal warning. They just let me, or some was even like, I ain't never been pulled over before, and that fucking pissed me off even more because that was like my fourth ticket that month, literally like my fourth ticket that fucking month, and I got these white motherfuckers in here like I've never been pulled over before. And when they do, they just let me go. Word. So I was pissed at that point. Now, fucking furious, right? And like they were in shock as I started to tell them just the past 4 incidents that I had with police. Like they couldn't believe like the shit I was telling them about my run-ins with the police. Cause this ain't just give me a ticket and leave shit. This is like I'm going on a trip somewhere and they have all my like one of the instances I flew back and again this is anywhere USA. I flew to Ohio for my sister's funeral. Rest in peace, sis. And they had I wasn't even in town 30 minutes. I wasn't even in town. I got my rental car, left the airport. I was pulled over less than 10 minutes later. They had all my clothes scattered out. They emptied all my suitcases, had all my shit scattered out in the grass on the side of the road. Said I was driving too slow. They took out the spare tire, brought the dogs, and let me go. That's what and it's that type of shit. Another one. Sitting at the corner, I was getting off the freeway to come home. The cop was following me, got off, and my house was like right off the freeway. So it was like, got off the freeway, ducked into the driveway. He pulls in to like this factory across the street. It was like a Saturday or something, so they were closed. And so he just sat there. And I was like, well, what the fuck? You cool? All right. And I'm looking out the window like, he's still there. All right, whatever. I had a newborn baby, so I'm chilling, and whatever. I wasn't pressed. 2 hours later, oh, he's still there. It was like 2.5 hours later, and I was like, oh shit, it's about time for me to go to work. Shit, I gotta go. He's still there, man. Fuck it. Got ready for work, left. 3 hours later, got my car, pulled off, didn't even make it a block. He pulled out and came and got me. And again, the same routine. Said I didn't have my seatbelt on, which is some bullshit. Because you've been sitting over there for 3 hours. I was on all my P's and Q's. But how can you defend that? How can you defend, oh, I didn't have my seatbelt on? Yeah, I did. There's no defense for that. Anyway, I digress. No, but for real, like, so, it's just it's just a police misconduct that they always engage in, right? It's annoying, and I eventually came to like the conclusion, um, of like how they could truly relate without living the existence, right, of a black person, and a black man specifically. Like I had to think about it. Like, how could they know? Like, because I was angry at them, but it's not their fault. They don't know. How could they know? Like, really, how could they fucking know? And so I always used to fight the tickets, like every single one. I would go to court, try to fight them. I'd be like, hey, yo, hey, hey. So sometimes they don't show up for court, so they get dismissed. But I'm like, hey, it's worth than just paying it, man. I'm gonna show up for work. I mean, I'm gonna show up to court because again, it got to be like, man, fuck them. I'm gonna go at least tell my side of the story. But when I would go to the courtroom and look around, looking for justice, and that's all I would see is just us up in there, black and brown folk. Might be a couple sprinkles of whites, but they usually had some real charges. You know what I mean? They wasn't in there for no bullshit. And don't let me come late and sit in the back of the courtroom. Once you come late, you have to sit and wait for all the other course cases to go through before you get called back up. And I'm sitting there watching the black people and the white people go on up with the same charges, but the black people get hit harder, much harder than the white folk. And it gets to a point to where it's like, yo, what? White people don't break the law? They just good, huh? They don't break the law, huh? Never. It's just us criminal folk. So it makes you wonder, is it the chicken or the egg, right? Is it the mandate to go get these black niggers? Or is it more like, hey, these niggas is up to something. Let's go get them. Or is it like, you know, um, I expect them to be doing dirt. So let me go find dirt, right? So, um, and like, I don't know. So there's a study in the Chicago Tribune. I posted in the bottom of or in the notes of the podcast. So you can go find it and look for yourself. Do your own research and dig it. I ain't gonna tell you nothing that is not true on here. So I'm gonna try to give you the sources to go look it up. Anyway, so there was a Chicago Tribune that said something like black people made up like 71% of the stops, despite only like being like third of the city's population. So, and here's the kicker though. So the searches of white vehicles produce contraband and illegal substances more frequently than the black vehicles, right? So when they pulled over white folks, they more often than not found contraband more than they would in the black car. But yet they still stopped a significant amount of more black drivers. So then it can't be that they're just like, because if it was like, oh man, when we stop the white folks, we get what we need. We find you would think they would start stopping more white folks, but they don't. They don't. Because that's not the goal. That's not the goal. Because they started from slave catchers. So they trying to catch more slaves, bro. They trying to catch more slaves. That's what it's always been. That's what it's been since its inception, the police force and system. They've been slave catchers since the beginning. So that's not an anomaly, right? It's the standard practice. Like in Chicago, in this survey that I'm telling you, again, it's not an anomaly. It's the standard practice of the rest of the nation's police forces practices, right? Like the police have biases that create their self-fulfilling prophecies, right? Like, okay, if you are certain that your girl is cheating on you, you are going to continue to look. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look for the evidence to support that claim. You are going to find it. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to find the evidence that you need to sabotage your relationship. Guaranteed. That's why I'll be looking, man. Hey, I ain't checking your phone. I ain't doing nothing. Yeah, look, well, Chief, go ahead and do it. Hey, look. Matter of fact, let's move on. Let's move on. Anyway, but yeah, you'll find the evidence that you're looking for. If you're looking, if you want to look hard enough, you'll find it. Or if you go in there with the intention of finding stuff and you're looking harder. So when you have the thought process that black people are more criminal minded or have more criminal tendencies than whites, it's going to lead to more frequent stops. Even when the evidence is showing you that white people are committing just as much crime. But you'll stop the blacks more often because you have a tendency up here to think that, yeah, that we got some criminal tendencies, right? So it'll lead to more stops. It'll lead to more searches that are more intrusive. Like I told you, grabbing my balls, and that ain't even the worst of it. I can tell you more, but yeah, not here. Check the book out. Coming soon. And so, like, there is, and so, and when you get placed in front of a judge who also are probably carrying these biases, it results in larger fines, longer in sentences. Like this accumulation of tickets. Hey, the first time I spent time in jail, it was like, hey, I was in there for these traffic tickets over and over and over. And one judge was finally like, don't look like you're learning your lesson, Mr. Miller. How about you spend a few days with us? Like, what, for a speeding ticket? Yeah. Why don't you come spend some time with us? Jail over traffic violations that was erroneously given. But when you think about that, right? The financial burden alone that's placed upon folks, you know what I mean, is not only like unfair, but it's predatory. It's predatory. Like even with a job that I had, like it was paying decent money. Like these tickets add up. So like imagine like, and I was like struggling to pay the amount of violations. Not struggling, but I was, so I can see somebody with lesser like means, might choose to feed his children rather than the system. Sometimes you got to make those choices. Like if you forget the date of the ticket, you can double on you. Like the price of the ticket could double on you for failure to appear and that type of shit. Have a warrant out for your arrest, license for forfeiture, and all that shit. Which when they catch you, even worse, right? But like, driving without a license, fees and charges and court costs, collection fees, late fees, toll fees, like all of this shit. And that's all before your insurances company catches a wind of these infractions. So when you have like a criminal record or something, or a bad driving records, those sometimes are like prerequisites to employment in some cases. Right? So let's say I want to be get a CDL and be a truck driver, but I got all these tickets mounted up against me. They ain't about to approve me for that shit. They ain't like, nah, dog, you ain't got it. No, you ain't gonna, no. That further limits your earning potential when you're already struggling to get by. Like these police departments, they don't like operate in a vacuum. Like, nah, it's not just them. They operate with the support and direction from the federal government. And this has been going on for decades. Like beginning with Nixon. Yeah, I wouldn't even say beginning with Nixon. I mean, but again, they started with slave trades. I mean, slave catchers. But like when it became like a real like, hey, Nixon, the war on drugs, like Reagan's mandatory minimum sentencing, Clinton's three strikes law, like all part of the unrelenting attack, unrelenting assault on the black community. I don't know, man. I mean, the federal government, they coerce states to comply by threatening to withhold funding, from states that don't comply. because you gotta feed the system, you gotta feed the beast, and that's the prison industrial complex. So yeah, get more cops, get more, and again, that's why they stopping more black folks because really, that's all they want. It hasn't stopped. They still slave catching. They still slave catching. You know, like the sum total of like the local enforcement of the national policies like has been and continues to cripple our progress. It does. It does. Like, and I used to be visibly irritated, like when my sons would come home, and regurgitating some nonsense they acquired from their teachers about how police are their friends and they're here to protect us. Eventually, I had to tell them, like, hey, yo, your hero, that's a fairy tale. They're actually the villain of the story. And it sucks to do that, but I have to prepare them. It sucks to do that, right? Because they're supposed to protect us, sir. But I have yet, I have yet to have an officer perform either one of those duties with me. Shit. I have yet to have an officer do either one of those with me. I see them on the road doing that. Like when I drive, I see sometimes they be changing the tire of some white woman or something. Sure do. I see them doing that for them. You know, I see it happening, so I know they do the things, just not with me. Like whenever I'm stranded, they asking me and my passengers for licenses to check for warrants. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You got your guns and dope in the car. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The depth of my contempt has has become like an impassable like chasm filled with like I don't know vengeance and disdain. Like that's why I was saying I've been like want to spit on them. Like so, excuse me if I'm not joyous when I cross paths with like someone from a group that's predatory, torturous, deceptive, murderous, and a slaver of my people. Fuck them. That's how I feel. Dead ass. Rest in peace, Sandra Massey. And I hope that motherfucker spends every fucking minute of his sentence behind bars. And I hope the worst of it happens to him while he's there. Go get him, fellas. Go eat. Now, if you've been paying attention to the podcast, you know I've called for an economic boycott in multiple ways. Like cancel fucking Christmas, fuck them goddamn kids, withhold taxes, dead ass. And I must say, I started seeing people echo, and I was like, oh shit, like, oh, this is dope. And so I was like, oh, so I'm actually gonna play a video. Oh, I wish I had her name right now. I don't, but she was stated it very eloquently. Everything that I said with, that's eloquence. And so I think I'll play it right now because I think it's serious and I think it needs to be talked about. So yeah, take time to listen to this.
From November 25th, 2025, this year, to December 2nd, they're calling it a mass blackout. Not a march, not a protest, no science necessary. It's 1 week where we pull our dollars out of the system and see what happens when the economy feels the weight of our absence. Because we've marched, we've begged, most of us voted the right way. And now we're just going to sit back and test the one thing this country truly worships: money. See, this isn't the first time we've tried this, right? Economic boycotts have always been the heartbeat of real change, from Montgomery to Operation Breadbasket. When the buses lost money, segregation fell. When companies realized ignoring Black consumers meant losing profit, they started hiring, promoting, and pandering. History has already shown us that pulling our dollars hits harder than any speech, any march, any protest ever could. The timing isn't random. Black Friday is the biggest spending weekend in America. Billions get poured into corporations that barely reinvest in the communities that made them rich in the first place. So from November 25th to December 2nd, the goal is simple, okay? Buy nothing that doesn't circulate back into us. You hear me? Support small, support local, support Black. Because when we withhold our dollars, we remind this country that we're not just consumers. We are the economy. So yeah, the mass blackout isn't about canceling Christmas or skipping joy. It's about shifting power and realizing that every dollar that we spend is a vote for the world that we live in. They've ignored our voices. They've ignored our pain. Let's see if they ignore our absence. We're not asking anymore. We are shutting this shit down. Okay? No spending. If you do need something, make sure you go to farmers market, support small businesses. There's a ton of places that you can go to make sure you support the right people, not corporations. We are done. We're done.
So yeah, so November 25th through December 2nd. Can't spend any money. I mean, try to do what you can and don't just do it the day before. Try to go out and shop. That defeats the purpose. If you need, start stocking up now if you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Start putting meat in your freezer or whatever the fuck. But seriously, don't go to the grocery store. Fill your tank. Like, try to have your tank full beforehand. Like, just start that type of process. Don't buy anything. Black Friday, don't buy shit. Fuck that TV. Y'all got enough TVs. And if we do this right, oh, they'll drop the prices on all that shit. Please believe it. So if we do this right and we do this like in concerted effort, like together, oh, they'll drop the prices on all that shit. They gotta make their money. Because again, what they care for is their profits. And if they can't show like in their earnings and all this, like, oh, we making this and we making that, and we doing this and we doing that, we still showing this growth. Oh, they gonna get themselves. They're gonna find a way to get themselves. So if we do this right, we can win on the backside. So yeah, we gotta cancel Christmas, dog. And I mean, I know it's only a week that they saying to do it, but I say, damn that. Let's just go through the holiday. We are too addicted to these white man's holidays. That's all. Most of these is manufactured. To be honest, I mean Christmas, they got some roots. But then when you talk about Valentine's Day and we talk about Sweeties Day for the East Coast and stuff like that, and you got like just all these Hallmark holidays they be having. Ain't worth a damn. Hell, Halloween just passed. Buying costumes and shit for your kids, and it's all just to mask up that this the pain and shit we struggling in, and we struggle to buy all that stuff just to have these kids that have put a smile on their face, which I get. But talk to them kids; they'll understand. If you tell them like they're more astute than we give them credit for, they know what's happening. Talk to them kids. Talk to them. Be like, hey, look, man, we look. This is what's happening. It's getting out of control. We got to take a stand. Most of the time, the kids probably be like, yeah, all right, I'm with you. Let's do it. Especially if you raise them. Yeah. Hey, maybe you need a little readjustment. Because anybody that's in my age bracket know it was a different time coming up than it is for these kids now. So maybe they need a little readjustment period. Right? But again, it's not about them. It's about us. It's about stopping this administration in their tracks. So yes, I am definitely participating. If you can't go to work, I ain't saying, get fired over it. But if you can call off or if you can whatever, don't show up. Especially if you're essential. Don't show up. Like they had Houston Airport shut down because the TSA officers or whatever didn't show up one day because they're not getting paid because of the furloughs and because of the government being shut down. So they're supposed to go to work and not get paid. And they decided, you know what? Nah, dog. We all calling off. So the airport, well, they shut the airport down, but those flights were delayed for hours. Had only the whites in the airport. I heard it. But yes, so like, yeah, call off if you can, and maybe not the whole week. Start the week off. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple days. We split it up. Some people take off early. Some people take, the back end off. You know what I mean? But just a few days, just so they can miss you. You know what I mean? Miss you. So yeah, 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 yeah. But not just that. Make sure if you're doing it, if you do have to buy, you can't help yourself. You gotta buy something for these kids. And I get it. Everybody's situation is different. You know what I mean? Everybody's situation is different. Try to do it from a black home, somebody that's black owned. You know what I mean? A black owned business. If you can't get it from a black owned business, like I said, don't do it. And if you have to do it, get it somewhere local. Get it somewhere local. Definitely stay away from Amazon, Walmart, all those big box shits. Get something local, a local mom and pop shop if you have to do it. You shouldn't do it at all. But if you have to do it, get it all. Get it. Try to get it as far as fucking Broadway as possible. Do Main Street, USA. Um, now, oh, that the lady's name was the Ashley the Baron or something. I give her some credit for that because that video was dope. Um, and another way I was speaking was saying that we should fight back by withholding taxes. As soon as I say that, people be like, "Ah, they all scary." And as a matter of fact, I saw another podcast over there talking like, it's three of them. I ain't gonna put their name out there. I don't want no smoke. No, fuck that. I want no smoke. Yeah. No. Anyway, um, yeah, they was over there talking all scary, like, I, like they're gonna come for you, like, and you're gonna go to jail. Tiffany Cross and all them, whatever their names is. I don't even know the name of their fucking pot. But yeah, they was all talking like, yeah, you're gonna go to jail if you do that. Oh, what are you doing? What are you talking about? And again, they're thinking from their perspective, right? Because I'm pretty sure they're not getting like the W-2 and their shit just taken out, right? They probably pay a lump sum of taxes at the end of the year. When you're talking about people that's on Main Street, ma'am and sir, when you're talking about people on Main Street, we're like, yo, every 2 weeks we paying, they jacking our check 30% before we even see that. And usually we're overpaying the government. That's why you see a tax refund at the end of the year. Like, we're gonna explain it correctly. Like, that's why we see a tax refund at the end of the year. So you have overpaid the government. Why are we giving them free money? One, we'll start there. You should be trying to pay zero, like get no refund and have all your taxes throughout the year. But we pay over and then basically give them a free loan. They would never do that for us. So why are we doing that for them? Mark exempt on your taxes. Mark exempt on your taxes. And at this point, you're in November. You only got a few more paychecks to go. You probably already have exceeded your tax margin, right? You're working into what you're gonna get back in February or whatever the fuck, whenever you file. You probably already exceeded it. So just continue on. And then after the new year, it starts anew. So you can go to first of the next 3 months without paying taxes, right? And then kick it back on later, maybe in April. And then run it all the way through to December, and you'll catch back up with your taxes. Put it back to where it was. But for this 5 month stretch, the government sees no money coming in from you. If everybody did that, like if all the working class did that, just for this 5 months, just went exempt, yeah, they're gonna notice. They're gonna start moving differently. We got to start taking some extreme measures because they're doing it. They just cut off SNAP. And it's not a coincidence. They're trying to create wolves in these streets. They're trying to do it on purpose. They're trying to create wolves in the streets so they can, so again, they can start locking up the wolves for this prison industrial complex. So he can put his army, that the ICE army that he's got into these streets with the National Guard, and start arresting y'all folks. In August, they made an executive order to get rid of cash bail or cashless bail, I should say. Right? It's an executive order, so it's not like nationwide. But he's trying to do it so like simple charges that you go in with, assault or whatever, you can't just bail out on your own recognizance, right? They can hold you for 6 months, 9 months on an assault charge. I'm telling you, man, they are gearing up. I digress. Anyway, so that's what I was saying with the taxes. Please, like, yeah, go exempt for 5 months. Don't spend shit at these stores. Don't spend nothing at these stores. Make them feel you. Pause. But seriously. And yeah, so like, yeah, they was all over there like, you're gonna go to jail. Like, no, you won't. You won't. Because you've probably already paid more taxes than you need to. And every year we just be giving them a loan and then be waiting for them to give us our money back. It's odd. Anyway, um, oh shit. Okay, so I almost forgot. I got to tell y'all, fam. So me and the lady, we was going to eat breakfast one of these days. I don't know, but we Ubered over there because parking situation is stupid in LA. I can't stand it. So sometimes just it's cheaper to Uber than try to drive and then park. Not to mention just the time looking for parking and shit. Anyway, so we Ubered over to the place, and and so once we got there, I mean, no, we didn't even get there yet. We driving, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, what? I see a dust up kerfuffle, if you will. I was like, what the fuck's going on over there? It was like two brothers on the ground. They was like, and it looked like they was on top of some white guy. And I was like, oh, what the hell? So I roll down the window, look a little better. And then I'm like, oh, this dude he has his little 9 foot fold up, white table, his little lifetime table, and he's over there sitting there. And he's like, he had like banners, Charlie Kirk banner. Charlie Kirk was telling the truth. He had another, Trump 2028. He had it was another one on there. It was another Trump one, right? Anyway, so I was like, I gathered real quickly what was happening. Dude probably got up there talking greasy. And he did this right in front of the police station. Like literally, he was on the corner of the police station. And it's funny how you did this, right? You know what I mean? Right there in front of the police station. Yeah, you thought they was gonna protect your ass. Wrong. He was getting stomped out. But the funniest part about it. So we was in West Hollywood, right? And if you know anything about West Hollywood, it has it's a lot it's an area where a lot of the homosexuals like to congregate, right? So and like live and do their thing. So it was, he was getting stomped out. And this is the day after Halloween, so I don't know if it was I don't know if this is their normal attire or what, but he was getting beat up by two black dudes in like bikinis, and it was just the weirdest shit to see, right? And so they was just stomping on these two dudes in bikini. Like I don't know if they was homosexual, but it kind of fit the description. And so these two dudes in bikini was like stomping them out, like yeah, 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 throwing his camera in the street and all this shit. And I was just like, wow. See, yeah, you thought you was gonna be safe. You thought you was gonna be safe, be over here next to the police station talking shit. And no, nigga, we gonna stomp your ass out. Don't give a fuck where we at. We about that life. And that's the type of energy need to be on. Anyway, it brought me so much fucking joy. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, look at this. Look at my people. Look at it. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. So I wanted to take a picture, but I ain't a snitch. I don't want to, put him out there like that. But I was like, oh, I want to put this on the fucking shit. But anyway, hey man, stand your ground. I don't know definitely what happened. I don't know, but I'm assuming they probably walked past and he probably said something crazy to him because they look a little startling. You know what I mean? But hey, West Hollywood? What the fuck you expect? He probably said something he ain't had no business, and yeah, they learned you. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. What I mean? That was cool. Anyway. I think we're gonna stop it right here. We're gonna leave it right there for now. You know what I mean? So enjoy yourselves. Please, please, please. Think about think about this economic boycott. We gotta get like for real. The the elections were actually promising. It was all Democrats that got elected. So not that they're definitely the answer, but they gotta be better than this bullshit. So I was happy about the turnout that I was seeing around, when I was driving around and places, it was just like people were just in line waiting, for this redistricting that we had in California. So I was, I'm, I am hopeful that we can figure this out. Know that we try to right this wrong, you know what I mean? And try to start backing the stuff back. But again, we gotta be intentional with it because they are moving full steam ahead with their little project 2025 and shit. So they ain't playing around. So we gotta be just as forceful on the back end on the other side of this. You gotta be on the side of the seesaw. We gotta balance this out some way. And the only power we got is in the purse, is in the money. So let's hold it. Let's hold it back. Matter of fact, and you might need it. Just hold it back, man, because they're struggling. Because again, this little big beautiful bill ain't even really kicked in yet. It ain't really gonna kick in until January. So y'all might need it more than y'all think. So hold on to this shit. You know what I mean? Because I got a feeling, especially if y'all in these red states, it's gonna get gritty. If you're in a red state, I would definitely be holding on to my money. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Please, you know what you're doing. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to do that. And again, I like to leave you with something something a little lighter. We can get a little heavy, so something a little lighter. To take with you, maybe something inspirational or something funny or something like that. So I'm gonna leave you with a little something. So take a look. We'll discuss on the other side.
You just realize none of it can make you happy. Once you've bought everything you want, and there's literally nothing on earth else that you want to buy. I just wish that was a gift that everybody could have, because there's nothing that material can do to satisfy you. Right? It's like drinking salt water, right? Like you'll never get enough. You're just going to make yourself more and more thirsty. Right. I'm in that phase of my life that can actually be scary. When you realize that no relationship, that no money, that no kids, that like there's literally nothing that can make you happy. That happy is an internal, full frontal contact with your dark night of the soul, and you reconcile that you got to make happy in here. You got to make happy in here with none of that stuff.
Damn.
You got to take happy to the people you love. You can't try to get it from them. And it's like you got to take happy to work. You're not going to get happy from work.
Yeah, that was dope. Yo, hey, don't look at the messenger. Listen to the message. You know what I mean? Yeah, even though he just got up and slapped the motherfucker on stage for no reason. Hey, but seriously, yeah, the message matters. Yeah, we gotta. It can't always be about the things that you can acquire, that you can accumulate, that you can give to people. Talking about Christmas and things like what I mean. Because that's what we've gotten to, like this path of insatiable lust for things, right? It we gotta, attach ourselves to the movement, a movement. It's not the movement yet, but you know what I mean? Like, just we gotta detach from this cycle of things that they push for us to buy and find and purchase and use. Like, there's more to it than these, just stuff. So just kind of think about that again with the economic boycott. Because once you get all the stuff, then what? You know what I mean? It's got to be more than that, people. It has to be more than that. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you for coming through again. I know you got plenty of places to be, so I'm glad you're here with me. If you, again, find us on where all podcasts are given away for absolutely free. Find us on YouTube and all the other spots, Instagram, Facebook, etc. at the Elevated Space. Don't forget to reach out at 747-777-3116. Leave that voicemail right there. About any problems you might have that you might want me to solve. Let Uncle Sean solve your problems. So yeah. Again, like, subscribe, share, and thank y'all for tuning in this week. And I'll see you next time. Love you. Peace.